Have you ever wondered what people did for fun before smartphones, before television, even before electricity? The answer is simple. They played. Board games are so much more than just a way to pass the time. They're like little time machines, packed in a box. They transport us back, revealing how our ancestors thought, fought, and connected with each other across thousands of years. From the sacred rituals in ancient tombs to the bustling, friendly chaos of modern tabletop cafes. This is the incredible story of board games from then to now. Our journey begins in the sands of ancient Egypt, around 3100 BCE here. We find one of the earliest known board games. Senet, played on a simple grid of 30 squares. Senet was far more than just a game for its players. It was a profound spiritual journey. The ancient Egyptians believed that a successful game of Senet could guide a person's soul through the treacherous paths of the afterlife, acting as a kind of map for eternity. It wasn't about winning or losing. It was about navigating the path to the great beyond. Now, let's travel over to Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Around 2500 BCE, archaeologists there uncovered something remarkable: the royal game of yore. This beautiful game, with its intricate board and pieces, was a brilliant blend of pure luck and sharp strategy. The roll of the dice determined your fate, but your choices decided the outcome. And the most amazing part, thanks to ancient cuneiform clay tablets that were discovered alongside the game boards, we still know the rules today. We can literally play a game that's over 4,500 years old, exactly as they did. Meanwhile, in ancient China, a different kind of game was taking shape. Go. On the surface, Go looks deceivingly simple. It's just a grid with black and white stones. But beneath that simplicity lies a game of near-infinite complexity. It's a game of territory, of balance, of surrounding your opponent while protecting your own space. It's so deep that even modern supercomputers find it a challenge. These ancient games weren't just idle distractions. They were powerful reflections of what these cultures valued most: their beliefs, their understanding of power, and their entire philosophy on life itself. As civilizations expanded and societies became more complex, so did their games. In ancient India, a game called Chaturanga emerged. Does it sound familiar? It should, because it was the ancestor of the game we now know as chess. It was a battlefield on a board, a simulation of war. You had kings, cavalry, elephants, and foot soldiers each. Peace, a symbol of a real-world social hierarchy and the brutal art of warfare. The game evolved as it spread across the globe, with its core as a test of strategic mastery remained. Following the trade routes, another game spread like wildfire through the Roman and Persian empires: Backgammon. It's a perfect race, a thrilling mix of chance and calculation. The roll of the dice gives you your options, but your skill in managing risk and positioning your pieces determines who crosses the finish line first. And over in Africa, a whole family of games, known as Mancala, was being played. Often using simple pits dug in the earth and seeds or pebbles as pieces. Mancala taught vital skills like resource management and foresight planning ahead to ensure you had enough to sow for future turns. These games were never just pastimes. They were powerful metaphors for life. They taught politics, survival, and the intricate workings of the human mind. Even in medieval Europe, games were used as educational tools. A game called Rhythmomachia, or the Battle of Numbers, was played by scholars and monks. It was a complex, chess-like game that used numbers on the pieces, designed to teach advanced mathematics, proportion, and logical deduction. Playing was learning, and learning was a game. Then, the 19th century arrived, and with it, the Industrial Revolution. This era of mass production changed everything, including how we play. In 1843, a game called The Mansion of Happiness became one of the first commercially successful board games in America. It wasn't about winning or losing in a competitive sense. It was a race along a track where landing on spaces representing virtues like honesty and humility moved you forward, while vices sent you back. It was a game designed to teach moral lessons to children. And then came the behemoth. A game originally called the Landlord's Game was created by a woman named Lizzie Meiji. She designed it to be a powerful critique of capitalism, showing how monopolies crush competition and enrich the few. Ironically, a tweaked version of her game was eventually sold to Parker Brothers and rebranded. You know it as Monopoly. It became a global icon of ruthless competition and family arguments, the exact opposite of its creator's intent. The 20th century saw this commercial boom explode. Clue, or Cluedo, turned a grim murder into a compelling mystery for us to solve. Risk offered players a chance at global conquest, spreading armies across a map of the world in an epic struggle for dominance. And Scrabble turned the simple act of spelling into a fiercely competitive battlefield of words and wit. Board games were no longer just reflections of culture. They were huge commercial products, found in households all around the world. Jess, when it seemed like video games would make board games obsolete. A quiet revolution started in the 1990s, coming primarily from Germany. This new wave of Eurogames changed everything. Titles like Catan, Carcassonne, and Ticket to Ride took the world by storm. They emphasized clever strategy over blind luck, player interaction over direct conflict, and elegant mechanics that were easy to learn but hard to master. Suddenly, board games were cool again. The innovation didn't stop there. A new genre called legacy games emerged, completely transforming the experience. Games like Pandemic Legacy and Gloomhaven are played over multiple sessions, with the board, rules, and story changing permanently as you play. Your decisions have lasting consequences, creating a unique narrative that belongs only to your group. At the same time, independent designers began pushing the boundaries of what a game could be. Crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter fueled this fire, allowing niche genres and incredibly bold, experimental games to find an audience and get made. This renaissance wasn't confined to our homes. Board game cafes started popping up in cities all over the globe, creating social hubs where people could gather, learn new games, and connect in person. And for those far apart, online platforms like Tabletop Simulator brought the tabletop experience to the digital world, allowing friends to play together no matter where they were. Today, the board game hobby is bigger and more vibrant than it has ever been, with an astonishing number of new titles, millions of players, and a level of creativity that continues to astound. In the end, board games are a mirror. They reflect who we are, where we've been, and what we value. They teach us to think strategically, to connect with others, to imagine new worlds, and to solve complex problems together. So the next time you sit down to roll the dice or move a piece, take a moment to remember that you're not just playing a game. You are participating in a rich, 5,000-year-old human tradition. And the best part, the game is still evolving. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more stories like this. See you next time.